So I've been looking for a few things to do a video on. I found some useless things, but I have an obsessive personality, and that leads to one problem in particular.
Agree. My mind rebels to stagnation. Give me problems, give me work.
So, I mean, I could go for things like BuzzFeed or Mike.com or any one of 100 places. I could even go back to Mullet Man. Believe me, he's got enough. However, I'm not getting that challenge, that intellectual rigor, as Tealier put it. So I decided to hit the other side of the aisle to respond to a member of the community. So I'm reminded of a couple of things. The first being, before Barron got into that copyright trouble, he made a video specifically targeted at the Chris U. Winters crew, where he said, "Feminists, the power is yours." Basically alluding to it's up to them to police themselves, to go in and correct any bad data that they themselves may be putting out. I feel that sentiment also belongs to us. And me being the obsessed with Rome dork that I am, I'm reminded of a particularly interesting phrase. Quis custodiat ipsus custodes translates literally as who guards the guardsman, but me being, again, the dork that I am, I like the more popular known translation of who watches the watchman, because a lot of people in our circle go around and believe themselves to be the ones who scoop up the bad data, who point out the inconsistencies and logical fallacies, basically policing what videos come out on the internet. Well, who watches the watchman? And we see this already with people like Dave Cullen responding to Sargon and his Marxist Sargonism, or more recently when the Naked Ape and the Amazing Atheist decided to have a tit-for-tat about Bernie Sanders. So I think 2 minutes is about enough of an intro. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of it.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm some dumb American, and
I wonder if she knows or if she believes she's speaking ironically.
so today we're gonna talk about Sweden, because what the heck is happening in Sweden? Okay, so Daddy Trump said that, to which everybody in the mainstream media said, OMG, nothing's happening in Sweden, which we know is categorically false. They've had a huge spike in crime, especially sexual crime, most notably sexual assault and rape.
Okay, so I'm not going to say this claim is false. I'll get to actually proving what's up later. However, let's take a look at her data first. Alright, let's check those links. Okay, give me money, pay attention to me, 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 blah, 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 blah. People who have given me money. Okay, the data. There we go. Okay, so the first link is a CNN report on the riots. There are other corroborating sources and plenty of video. I'll put a couple of links in the box. That one is completely and totally legit. There is, however, something I want to point out. I'll explain the relevance of that later. Okay, let's take a look at this second link. Looks legit. Rape and sexual offenses. During 2015, 18,100 sex offenses were reported, of which 5,920 were classified as rape. In the Swedish crime survey, okay, 1.7% of the respondents stated that they were exposed to sex offenses during 2015. Wow. Amazing. Now, I want to know more about this survey. The word survey keeps popping up, and that just sounds so familiar. Here we go. This report presents the overall results of the 2016 Swedish crime survey. Approximately 11,900, that's not a very big number, persons responded to the questions, which is a 60% response rate to the survey. The vast majority participated, that just cracks me up, through telephone interviews, but a smaller percentage participated through posted questionnaires or internet questionnaires. The results of the report are summarized below, broken down into 5 overall objectives. Yeah, that all sounds very familiar. Hey, Base Mom, would you mind taking it from here?
It found them by using a poorly constructed telephone survey with a low response rate and a non-representative sample of respondents.
I love that woman. Feminisming. Done right. Alright, well, let's get back to SDA.
The big point of contention for the left and the mainstream media is whether or not Sweden is actually having a crime spike.
Yes. Do go on.
Okay, so let's talk about the numbers here.
Yeah.
So she's just going to go right back into the CNN clip. Okay. So I'm just going to cut out her replay of the CNN clip because we're responding to her, not her CNN clip.
Because they don't actually show the broad statistics here, I decided to go ahead and Google it, and of course the links are in the description below, and we will take a look at those in just a second. Because I know this will be a point of contention, let's take a look at the way that Sweden classifies rape and classifies sexual assault, because a bunch of people are going to tell me that they have really loose definitions of rape, and they actually don't. Don Lemon does it too, so let's listen to him first.
So this is what it's going to be. It's going to be you playing the CNN clip and having them do all the studying and research for you. Yeah, I'm starting to think that you're not speaking ironically when you named yourself. Yeah, so again, I'm just going to cut out the CNN clip. You can watch it on her video. But the funny thing is 85% of her video is the CNN clip. I'm really beginning to wonder just how much work she actually put into debunking. From what I've seen so far, not a whole lot.
Okay, so now that he's lied to your face, let's actually take a look at the definition of rape in Sweden. Historically, rape has been defined as the forced sexual intercourse initiated against a woman or a man by one or several people without his or her consent.
Yeah, folks, you're not seeing things. That is Wikipedia. And something else I want to point out. I'm noticing a pattern here.
In recent years, several revisions to the definition of rape have been made in Swedish law, to not only now include intercourse, but comparable sexual acts initiated against someone passive and capable of giving consent because they are in a vulnerable situation such as a state of fear or unconsciousness. That's a pretty standard definition for rape, and it's quite close to the US definition, and I will include both in the description.
Both are Wikipedia, and I want to point another thing out. Yeah, that happened again.
Below. In Sweden, the definition was expanded in 2005, and in 2005 to 2006, there was no giant spike in rape crimes.
Since you love Wikipedia so much, I'm going to go ahead and say citation needed. Oh, the bra is what you're hoping is your citation. The one with the phone survey. Okay.
But what you will also notice is that unwanted touching is not included in that definition because it's not rape. However, if you go up to somebody and you grab their breast or grab them by the pussy, that is sexual assault, and it should be classified as sexual assault. I think we can all agree on that.
Okay, so before I jump into Wikipedia, I have to go through a process. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so at least she's reading the Wikipedia article correctly. Oh, no, she's not even reading the article, she's just reading the headline. How about that? Okay, there's a little number 1, a citation by the Penal Code. Let's check that out. You'll have to forgive the bad English, this is a translation of the page, but anyone who by assault or otherwise, by force or by threat of criminal acts are forcing a person to sexual intercourse or to undertake or endure another sexual act with regard to violation seriously is comparable to sexual intercourse, shall be sentenced for rape to imprisonment for at least 2 and a maximum of 6 years. Okay, seems legit. Paragraph 2. The same applies to a person performs a sexual intercourse or sexual act in accordance with the first paragraph is comparable to sexual intercourse by improperly exploiting that person because of unconsciousness, sleep, severe fear, intoxication, or other drug influence, illness, injury, or mental disorder or otherwise. The circumstances are particularly vulnerable situation. So you'll have to forgive that bad English. Basically, it says anybody who is impaired in any way and takes advantage of that person is, in fact, guilty of rape. Third paragraph. If an offense referred to in the first or second paragraph with regard to the circumstances of the crime to be regarded as less serious, shall be sentenced for rape to imprisonment for at most 4 years. Translation: if it's not that bad, if it's only a little bit of rape, then they will be sentenced for a less amount of time. As you can plainly see, there is quite the wide definition of rape in Sweden. Now, given this is a translation, some is lost in translation, and I don't speak Swedish, and I don't feel like bothering my buddy White Sith Male for the perfect translation. However, we can see that their definition is quite wide. And this is also why you don't use Wikipedia. Ever. Alright, now that we are done with Wikipedia for the moment, I have to go through my other process. So now that I'm all decontaminated, I am going to cut to the chase. She goes on a little bit longer and uses that same old phone study survey, speaking of a spike in sexual assaults. Now we know that there is a sexual assault spike since the migrant crisis. However, my problem does not lie with her message. It lies with her lack of data gathering, with her presenting these bad numbers, these bad statistics, these unverified Wikipedia sources, doing more harm than good. Now, if you want to accurately portray your message, accurately show data, you find confirmed sources. You find legitimate data. You don't find phone surveys, and you certainly don't go to Wikipedia. For instance, you can show the video of the police telling women not to leave the house alone at night. There are plenty of other sources. For instance, conviction rates, processed cases, confirmed reports. All of these I will link in the description. Listen, if you're going to do this, do it right. Don't half-ass it, and don't just type in what you want to search in Google and go with the first response. That makes us all look dumb, not just you. Sorry if I am a little bit triggered right now, but nothing triggers me more than bad data. I'll be back very soon with a new video, hopefully a little bit more fun and entertaining. I just can't stand half-assed work. As always, have yourselves a good day.